from Houston, Texas. Got Mix News presents The Mix Report, the podcast where you can stay in the mix with sports and entertainment news.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's GotMix.net. We're here live on The Mix Report. It's episode 12. I got Nino Cappuccino, young man that definitely has had a life and a time in California, not only in the entertainment world, in the real world, as far as the streets. He definitely has an amazing resume living to be able to tell his story, man. Hey, let's welcome Nino Cappuccino to the podcast on The Mix Report. Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what it do, man? Hey, what's up, Chief, man? It's a pleasure to be here, man. I took the time out, man, to lock in with you, man, and your team down there, man, because, when it comes to the kids, man, and your program, what you got going on down there in Houston, man, with the kids, man, it's something that we need to really lock back in as far as just all these different cities and different states as far as programs for our youth and mentor situations, So it's a pleasure, man, to being here on your platform. Shout out to all those who's tapping in, man. You know what I mean? What's up, man? You already know it's your man. It's your favorite host, man, of ROE, man. Rules of Engagement, 2022. We in the building. We walking out of 2022 into 2023. God's willing for all those who's here. Blessings, man. But hey, I'm here, man. What it do, Chief?
Man. Nothing much, man. We're gonna jump right into it. Man, what's your story for those that don't know? I know your resume precedes itself from just being a traveler. Let's start off. Where are you from originally, and how'd you end up in California?
Okay, my family, from both sides, from my father's bloodline and my mother's bloodline, of course, because I'm deep descended within my family. We're from Kansas City, Missouri. I was born in Jackson, Kansas City, Missouri. Hometown, it's my hometown via Texas, Austin, Texas. Oklahoma City, our family, Oklahoma City, OKC, Atlanta, Sacramento, Los Angeles, so that's my origins is basically Kansas City, man. From Kansas City to Texas by way of California, man, Los Angeles. Landed in the Lions Den in 1969/70 in Nickerson Gardens.
Man, that's amazing. Just you mentioning your mother and father. Who are some of your mentors and role models, and why?
Oh, well, when you said mentors and role models, right? Just in general, right?
Yeah, just in general, because I heard you mention your mom and dad just now, especially nowadays, man. A lot of young people just hearing that you mentioning your mom and dad. How big influential was your father and mother in your life?
Well, my mentors, my hero, my mentor, first and foremost, and my only heroes in my life, in my world, was my king, was my father.
Man.
My supplement mentors were my uncles, which is my father's brothers and my mother's brothers. And older cats in the streets that I clinged to and grew up with and grew around who taught me different things of the streets became my mentors, taught me the street games and the street ethics. So they became my mentors. But my only overall influence was my father, because my father was my first teacher, him and my mother. And from them was my grandmother, my late grandmother, Miss Robinson. She was the teacher at Kansas City, of Woodland Elementary School. So she taught everybody from 12th Street Projects, from Wayne Minor Projects, all up and down Montgomery. She taught my granny, she was a teacher, as well as my auntie Pat. So teaching was instilled in my family coming up in the late 60s and the 70s. So we had to learn as kids. So, and I'm glad of that because it has always gave me an advantage overall in life. Even when I hit these streets hard, head on, I was so educated from a mind standpoint and so advanced as well as ahead of a lot of my peers, it gave me advantages in a lot of ways, man.
Man, that's a big. I mean, I know I heard you mentioning the street life. Growing up as a child, take us back to your childhood. How was it growing up in Watts? What are some things you remember that stood out to you? Where did it all start for you at?
Sports. I came in with a football and baseball bat and gloves in my hand. Sports was everything to me in my world once upon a time. That's all I knew. Sports, swimming, gymnastics, track, sports. That was,
man. No, that's amazing, man. A lot of people don't realize that, man. When you said football, what position, if you don't mind sharing, what position did you play?
You remember that role they used to call when you was one of them superstars on the field, man? So they called us utility wherever they could place me. My primary positions was QB, cornerback, because I was a crackback. Cornerback and safety, I was a hitter. But I had speed. I had super speed. I was hella fast. So QB, wide receiver, tight end, you know what I mean? Flanker. I mean, I played, man. I really played the game. Baseball, shortstop, pitcher off top. I had heat. I had jump. I had a massive curve. I had a massive slider. I had a massive fastball. I had heat. And then I was a hitter. Like, man, listen, boy, I was one of them massive hitters. So I had game, man, and shit. But life took me to a whole nother channel. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, TV Land, for all those who's tuned in with us, you tapped in right now, man. You tuned in right now with the Chief and Nino Cappuccino, aka Bounty Hunter Bj brand. This white styrofoam cup you see in my hand. I need all y'all to know on top. No, it is not served. It ain't no type of get high. It's hot chocolate.
Come on now.
I need y'all to know that, first and foremost, for anybody to slap a comment up there or even get into your head and think, oh shit, the OG, sir. No, I don't do no lean and nigga. Feel it? None of that.
Yes, sir.
Hot chocolate, man. Yeah, let's proceed, baby. I had to put that out there, though, Chief.
Oh no. You go ahead, do your thing, man. Man, a lot of our viewers and listeners, man, they don't realize, like, especially me. I was dealing and teaching for about 10 years, and students are always asking, what they see on the internet. But man, we have a real person here that experienced it, like that, walked it, like that, was a leader that can express. For people that don't know California gang structure, explain it to them to where I know where Watts is present. How far is Watts from Compton? Because you always hear them ask about Compton, the South Central, Long Beach. How far are those places from Watts, and how is it structured as far as the colors, as far as the neighborhoods, as opposed to other states?
It's a few miles radius between from Watts, because Watts, we're center. We're the hub. Mm-hmm. We're the hub of the city, basically. We became the hub in the late 60s and 50s when our parents, grandparents, and our Black African-American folks was descending, coming from the South and fleeing in from the South and going north. Either they was going south of west of here, and they had to get off the train in Watts only, because you couldn't go downtown. You'd be hung. You'd be lynched. You feel me? It was real, nothing but Caucasian. That was their world down there. So you had no pass to go downtown and get off of Union Station and go live down in them areas. It wasn't built like that yet. So that's why Watts hosted so many Black families from Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, you name it, Florida, you name it, because they had to get off the train in the train station at Watts, bro. So we became the hub of the city, Watts. So all the rest of the gangs, like the primary central areas like Compton, South Central, they're like a few miles radius from us. Long Beach would be like the longest primarily from us, because you would have to get on the freeway to travel to Long Beach, to the city of Long Beach. But all the rest of the sections, they primarily just miles and miles apart. Some of them right across the street from one another. That's how close shit be. Feel me?
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Like that. Just the city. A lot of. Can you educate us on gangs initially? Because I heard you say it started off with the. Am I correct with the Black Panther movement? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Are you asking
gang
me
culture originated from that? Originally, it was something else, and then it changed.
Well, let's do this, Chief. I'm gonna break it down because I want to give the youngsters, I want to give the youth a real clear understanding.
Okay.
Primarily, let's go back to the actual history of gangs. Where were gangs born? Where were they formulated from? What's the origin of gangs? Because a lot of people, they want to holler they city this, they city that, and I don't give a damn where it started. Because the hell with all this, to be frank, man, it's been going on for them the 60 years. 6 decades, man, in our world of existence, this shit been going on. We've been genociding one another. It's black on black, brown on brown. They had gangs as well. You know what I mean? You even had white people had gangs. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck these gangs, shit. Fuck this gang. Let's flip that shit. So let me break it down to give real clarity. Coming from the world of something that we created here on the West, and something that I was planted in when the seeds were planted in the first generation, and I come right up in the blossoming of it in the second generation and took the torch and carried it on, man, as well. So I'm able to give the insight of it from my perspective. So first and foremost, let's go back to the history of gangs. Where were gangs? Where did they start? Gangs formulated in the late 30s and 40s, gangs existed. If you go back to Gangs of New York movie, it gave us that historical point of gangs, and that was true shit. It was Irish, Turkish, people coming from all over different walks of the world, descending to New York, just like the South descended to Watts and Los Angeles and other areas. Northern California, they would go south, west of Los Angeles, they would go northern. That's why you have so many Northern Californians that have that Southern accent, that Southern swag, that Southern style, because it's damn near the South. South is primarily Northern California. Northern California is mixed in the South, just like you got Southerners in Los Angeles. So the gangs of New York showed us how the word gangs was accumulated by far. When you got a group of individuals and you're structured with weapons and you were making an attack to another group, so it was tagged as gangs. It became gangs. Now, the differentiation, what separates that? Gangs. Now, I'm just giving you the scenario of the birth of it. You have New York, Chicago. Chicago, I've always said this, man, Chi-Town produced the gangsters, man. Us on the West Coast as gang members and gang bangers, we always respected the Chi based on because we looked at them niggas down, them niggas was gangsters. You know what I mean? We didn't understand their allegiance and their rules as far as when it come down their politics of the vice lords and the BDs, and we didn't understand that because we were in our own world, but we knew that existed there. And we thought the dudes down there, it was gangsters, not gang bangers, and they didn't do the stupid shit we was doing, basically how we looked at it. Not that we were smart enough to know we was doing stupid shit back then, but I'm just giving you the scenario of how this shit is developed. So moving along, this is what separates gangs from gang banging. So in the late 60s, after Fat Boy come into office and Fat Boy put his destruction down, meaning Fat Boy, J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah. Make sure I say that name right, boy, because this internet eats me up, boy, when I say the wrong word. It eats me up. J. Edgar Hoover is what I said, TV land. Not Larry Hoover this time. It's J. Edgar Hoover. Not Triple OG Larry Hoover, man. Shout out to Larry Hoover, man. I'm saying J. Edgar Hoover, fat Fruity Kate ass, man. He put the plan down, the massive plan down, and the destructive plan down to demolish criminals, to demolish that, just the whole criminal element. He became the force. So the FBI was formulated, CIA, all these different functions of organizations of crime waves to deal with criminal elements, right? So now they targeted anything that we were building in the Black communities to give us unity, structure, empowerate us, lead us to the levels that we're supposed to be on. That means build our own brands, our own branches, our own lanes, our own fucking cities. We're entitled to do that. Other cultures do it. So I don't hear nothing about no other, it's the way it's supposed to be. But our jackasses, we allow ourselves to be thrown off of the lane we're supposed to really be on in reality. So he stepped in, threw the lug wrench in, and sent them boys down in here, man. And they came and demolished the Black Panther movement, in which in the 70s, the 60s, in which our parents were growing up. And I was born in the late 60s and coming in the 70s. So I was able to see that and feel that movement and see the hippie movement and see my daddy wearing dashikis and the afros and the afro puffs. That's how we grew up. So I see the movement. So to feel that and feel the power, afro picks it, power to the people, Black power, you know what I mean? So we had something and it was strong. So he came in and he destroyed it. And I mean, he destroyed it. And he was so cold and so articulated with his plan. They didn't come in and kill us and shoot us all up. They came in and put the shit down here that we needed, and we did it for their ass, man. And we still doing it right now today, man. Gang, man.
That is true, man. Man, just with everything going on, man, I hearing about the different things happening in Atlanta and just around different cities. It's like you said, and it's still going on today. How influential would you say the gang culture has entered into the music, and where did that come from? It just seems like it was that part of the plan too, where it seems like it infiltrated the music, and then in the entertainment business, and it's
Chief, not cutting you off, but I was just waving my hand because I'm gonna answer when you finish. But go ahead.
Yeah. Just man, what take me into that? Just because I remember growing up, I was listening to my parents. I used to get mad. My parents were originally from the South, and I remember I used to be like, man, how come they wouldn't let me listen to certain music? And you go to school. I go to school with my boys. I'm playing on the football team. I'm like, what you listening to? They telling me what they listening to. So naturally, I had to try to listen to it behind their back. Didn't know what I was listening to, didn't understand it, but felt I was eager to listen to it. And then as I became older and I listened to what I was listening to, I'm like, man, what was I thinking? I didn't even know what I was listening to, Nino. I didn't even know what I was doing, man. I just was emulating and following something that I didn't even know what I was following, man. But my like my hero was my dad, so that would always kind of nip. Like, man, what am I doing? Pops don't even listen to it. Not knocking the music per se of artists or something. Just they were trying to govern what I was listening to control, to make sure I wasn't, I guess, going in the wrong direction. Where do you think that? What's your take on the music business, and how have the music business? What would you say affected your life? You know some of these cats personally, whether it be producers or just artists in the business. Talk about your journey with that.
First and foremost, let's get an understanding that music itself, just the instrumental word, M-U-S-I-C, music, just music itself, that word, music, is power by itself, power. Hear what I said, power. It's a mind control, empowerment situation. Music always have been from the beginning of time, whether it's a mellow empowerment, laid back, made, feel me, on a journey, and you driving on the road, you want to party, you know what I'm saying? Or you want to get radical, go kill up some shit. It's empowering, bro. It's a mental control. It all depends on what type of form of music you're listening to. But understand that music captivates the soul for real. If you ever heard that analogy, ever heard that saying, it's for real, it's true. So what happens is gangs has no control over the music. So this is why I was waving my finger at you when you was asking me, because I'm gonna break it down. See, it used to be, and this is where it should be and where it need to go back to. And then if you go back to this, we'll be able to put structures in both elements, in the music world of hip hop and in the streets.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, the streets was the streets, and the streets had street rules, street standards, street morals, and everything was separated. Hip hop was hip hop. Hip hop was competition, creativity,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Writing, metaphors, lyrics. I'm all the way to your stage performance. What about this on those stage with 50 niggas and they all got bottles and niggas just hanging out? That ain't hip hop, man. I'm sorry to bust y'all, but nigga, that ain't perform. I wouldn't pay for no tickets, and I make pretty money like that. When niggas hanging on the stage with artists, I'm working on. But true performances and real, true, thorough artists, man, they're performers. And in order to become a performer, it takes practice. Practice on top of practice on top of practice. It's structured. So that separates. So when you take hip hop and you take gangs, gangs and streets had their own element. The music was already in control of everything as far as the whole sentiment of the universe, regardless whether you was in a gang, you was Christian, a Catholic, a Baptist, a prostitute. It didn't matter because it's all forms of music.
Yeah.
It's like when you listen to the spiritual music, it takes control. It absorbs the body. It takes control of the spirit. It gives you the Holy Ghost. For some people, for me, I love gospel music. That's the most relaxing tone that you can listen to, man. When you want to really just take your body and just go there and just really go into a meditation mode and relax. I love gossip. If I want to make love to my woman, I want to beat some walls up, I'm putting on the Isley Brothers, Skylift, Shy Lights, feel me? Teddy Pendergrass. I want some balance, some genuine. So see, it's a mind thing, you know? So the music has always took control from the existing of time. So the separation is like I was explaining, breaking down. Hip hop has grown to become so globally big and controlling because of the masses. And I'm speaking from the inside, not a consumer on the outside, from the inside of the game of this. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. So from the masses of their plans to totally destruct our communities, our kids, our people, our jackasses, because we ain't wise enough and smart enough to say, okay, wait a minute. We're the content, we're the music, we're the writers, we're the producers, we're the creators, we're the engineers, we're the shit. But we're still slaves and we're still ignorant because we making the demonic music that makes all these other people billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, we get millions under the bottom. Millions ain't shit when you get billions and trillions. It ain't shit. That's just like when you're in a hustler and you're in the street. If I'm making a few 100,000 and my workers making 10 or 5,000, yeah, they making ain't no money, but that ain't shit comparison to what the man is making. That's the way it's always been. It's a structure, it's called numbers. Music is based on numbers. Always have, always will be. Bottom line, man. This shit don't have anything to do with, oh, the good and the bad. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Numbers, man. This is what this shit is about.
Wow.
And if my company is worth millions of dollars and I can't make the millions and I can't turn over the millions, I got to come up with a game plan. And that game plan is called marketing.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
So people didn't understand this, bro. So again, music has grown so big globally. It has grown and came in with the empowerment based on the plan of the masses who's behind it, it surpassed the streets. Knock the streets empowerment out the fucking way. Knock their controlment out the way. Knock their power out the way. That's why the streets don't run shit no more. Hip hop run the shit. Hip hop maintain the streets there. The streets mimic hip hop. That's where the separation comes in at, Chief. That's the difference. So hip hop controls everything now. It used to be the time it was a separation. So that's why I say my advice, get the streets back to the damn streets and give hip hop back to hip hop and let real artists become real artists, not dead artists, bro, not dying artists. It's a lot of these great kids that came up that could be great artists if they was really shown the right ways and had real individuals behind them, really in their ear leading them. Not no fake ass big homies and no fake leaders and fake management and fake none of that shit. Because if you let a youngster get killed out here under your watches based on this punk ass music, man, you're fake. And that's my motherfucking opinion, man, as a G. Because I feel like when the artists come to us and artists assign us and they trust in us, they trust us with their life, they trust you with their, you know, their creativity, they trust you with their vision, they trust in you, man. So how can you not give your 1000% trust in return to your artists to make sure their security is safe? And I don't give a damn if my artists get mad as hell. Nigga, if I tell you, hey, shut it down, we ain't doing that one. Because I see something that you may not see, then I'm telling mine for the best interest, bro. I'm not gonna sit back and go, I want to bring it back, fuck it. And I can see bad. I can see bad coming. I can see it formulating. No, man, I ain't never been that way, period. Even for the street, I ain't never been that way. My leadership was always thorough and for real, man. I love my niggas that fuck with me and I was real to them and loyal to them. So my shit ain't never been that way.
Man, that's amazing. When you were saying about how back in the day, even the cats in the street, if a cat, you know, a cat, hey man, that dude might go to the majors. Hey, that dude right there might go to the NFL, or that dude might have a good singing career, or that dude, man, he might be. It's like they protected the streets, protected the guy. They didn't let him die. Am I correct? Am I thinking correctly? I thought that's how it was.
You absolutely listen, especially. Like cities like New York, the East Coast, man, they had that. They had that shit like firm, bro. Them East Coast dudes. That's how we look. We as gangbangers on the West, we was already fucked up. Our structure was already tore down. All we knew was this what I got on. This is what I live for. This red shit I got on right here. If I had, you couldn't pay me to wear no blue. You couldn't pay me purple. Was out the question. Nigga, we die for a nigga wear some purple, drink some purple soda, eat some purple cake. That's how stupid we was, bro. As youngins, coming up with brainwash and bamboozle. And the same for Crips. They wouldn't wear no red, they wouldn't wear burgundy or certain things that was from a loud, intimate color because they was brainwashed the same way, no different. We were fucking bamboozled, bro, with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a time where the sentiments of it was real. So that's why I say the streets had structure, power. See, I come up in all that element. I come up in a time where I can say hip hop was separate. Niggas always want to whine, holler, oh, nigga, I ain't checking in, I ain't tapping in nobody. Okay, yeah. When hip hop was really hip hop, it was structure behind hip hop. So guess what? Niggas was tapping in these cities. They was tapping in with city to city because they had to. Certain niggas that want to be gangster rappers, they was getting their gangster tested at these goddamn stadiums. Because gangsters on the street was running up on niggas behind VIPs and, hey, what's up? I want that shit you was saying. Then you disrespect such hood on the microphone. We don't get out like that, huh? Because the streets is really in control.
Yeah.
But because drugs took a hold of the element of the streets, took a hold of the element of all the niggas in the streets, primarily, not all, but those who chose drugs, how you gonna be on point and you on drugs? Nigga? We didn't grow up like that. Man. At least one thing, we knew we had to be soldiers and warriors. So primarily for the most of us, we didn't do drugs, nigga. We couldn't. Wow. We was too busy going to war. There was too much shit happening. You couldn't be taking the time to be high and drugged up, nigga.
You get caught slipping.
The news out.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different ball game, man. So again, that's why I say hip hop has just merged and surpassed everything, including the streets, and swallowed the streets up to where it collaborated with hip hop. All the niggas in the streets want to be rappers and be a part of hip hop or how the hip hop look. Fake as hell, but they don't matter how the hip hop look. That's going to show you how brainwashed and how much control it is. When it used to be a time, niggas had enough sense enough. I ain't that fake ass shit.
Yeah, man. Man, I remember listening to the music, but I know he not really saying go out and go do that. I can't go do this. It's a consequence if I do that. That's how I was thinking. Like if I go,
just a plum idiot, Chief, to sit here and listen to a lot of this music, demonic, hardcore, gangster, not. You would have to be stupid. I mean, really, literally stupid to say, oh shit, and that's crazy. And I'm gonna say this because a lot of these kids, they really think that shit. You can't.
No, they do. They do, man. They do.
To think that your favorite rapper really do what he rap about. No, man, it's handfuls. It's only handfuls that really made it out these streets to spit that shit and talk this shit, bro. Not thousands of them, nigga. See, we're in the element now. It's thousands of gangster rappers who come from the hood. Let them tell it. No, that ain't how this shit go, man. And then the crazy part about it for me is, I felt me as a double OG, man, and giving 30 years of my life to these dirty ass streets, man. Excuse my French, bro, because that's how I feel. 30 years of my life, active duty, man, active. Dedicated, devoted to this bounty hunter shit, man. Devoted to these streets and Watts. Devoted to my neighborhood. Devoted to the gang. Devoted to just bloods, period, in general, from all over. Any bloodhood. And if you was my homie and we was rats, we was together. Just devoted. Man, none of that shit gave me nothing, bro. None of that shit gave me nothing to where I was able to achieve and succeed on. Anything that the streets gave me, the streets took back. When I made my first million in my early 20s, streets took it back from me. Just as fast as I made it, they took that shit back. Come back, go to penitentiary, do time, come back. In my late 30s, made my second illegitimate meal. Same thing. As fast as I made that shit, they took it. They took it. And when I say they, me end up going in the systems, fighting cases, belting out, fancy cars, low riders, just blowing money. All the shit that these rappers rap about today, a lot of us, we did it in really for real in the streets in the 90s and the 80s, bro. We really did. That was our life. Because it was presented to us where we had the opportunities to do it. The shit was, it was given to us. We didn't grow poppy fields, bro. We didn't grow poppy fields. We didn't have no poppy fields in Watts. We didn't have no poppy fields in Vermont Day High School, in the back of the high school of our projects where we go, and they was tucked away. We had poppy fields where we was making cocaine on home to become successful billionaires. Oh, them goddamn crackers had that shit. They put it, and they put the tools where we need them. So in our era, that gave us the opportunities. It's like the young era today, the opportunities are given to them from the drug trades, bro. Fentanyl, pills, you know, they just have a variety that we didn't have. But we had certain opportunities as well with that shit. And when all that shit is destruction to us as the people, it shit ain't never destruction. All of it. When all the man's supposed to do is use his mind, man, and you can get you $1 million too. You can get you some real money if you use this, because this is your real power. Not this. Not the chopper. Not the Draco. This right here, man. In your heart, your soul. This is your power.
Man, Nino,
you've been struck by lightning, man. ROE, man, 2022, man. We in the game. I'm sitting here with the chief himself, man.
Man, Nino, man, another thing that's different, man, that I thought was unique about y'all generation is, like, can you talk a little bit about how, man, you grew up learning karate? Can you speak a little bit about that? How it helped you? Like, cats back in the day, they had real hands. They could fight, as opposed to today, where when did you start to see the element of the gun being presented?
Well, for me, everything started for me early because my father was a war veteran. My father, his brothers, few of his brothers. My daddy was Vietnam, but that nigga was not from a nigga perspective. But that if he wanted to be a real nigga, my daddy could be a nigga, man. My daddy was the shit. Spoke 6 different languages fluently. Let's get this understood. We talking a man 6'5", 6'4".
Wow.
Born and bred from Kansas City, Missouri. We're talking about a nigga got on a bicycle one time and rode a bicycle and told his big brother, I'm finna go down to Utah. And got on a bicycle with his guitar and left Kansas City and rode all the way down to, not Utah, Little Rock, Arkansas. Excuse me, Little Rock, Arkansas. And went to jail for sitting in front of the liquor store having a drink with an Indian, man. Because it was against the law back then. Indians was free. So they took my daddy to jail, man, for having a drink with an Indian, man, and blowing a guitar and singing music, man. This is what type of father I had. So I had the most influential influence in my household, man, coming from the mentor and the hero that I only looked up to, man, for life. So when I lost that, I lost my king, my little brother at 17 from a car accident, had a blood vessel bust in his heart at basketball practice while I was in the pen. And my mother, my queen. Man, that's not something for a 21, 22-year-old kid a boy to go through, man, who's still going through growing stages. I ain't even hit 25 yet, bro. I'm in my early 20s. And this shit hit me back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Not 10, 20 years apart, back to back. And the crazy part about it, homie, is I live with these 3 scars right now today in my life, homie, that I was never able to come home and be able to hug my queen and kiss her goodbye because of my reputation and my ties to the streets and my ties to the bounty hunters, to Nickerson Garden. And they wouldn't allow me to leave shoot program and escort me home for my mother's funeral. Same for my little brother's funeral. They wouldn't escort me. They definitely wouldn't escort me in because this was the time of the year I went in for the HK case, the Hawkins case, with me and my 16 crimes. So they would not allow me to escort me home because of my reputation. You know what I mean? And my empowerment from that case being a high-powered case and a high publicity case, man. So they would not escort me home, allow me to say goodbye to my little brother, man. So that shit left scars on me. So when I resulted to gangs, that's what made me go all in to make the choices to say, okay, gangs is gonna become my second family then, because I already was introduced to it. I'm aware of it. I've been influenced by it in a lot of ways. I just jumped head in all the way. And so once that happened, bro, instead of me doing what a lot of my peers did, like I said, we had those opportunities that was thrown in our worlds back then. I didn't do like a lot of my homies. I didn't juggle with the dope. I really made my money off the dope. I never did it. I never tested. I never did it. Closet, none of that shit. What you doing it dope shines in the light. I don't give a damn. It will happen. So that was always my strength. I used to watch the strong fall off of drugs, and that was always my problem. Oh, that shit ain't never happened to me, and I can say never because it ain't never happened because it's always been my choice. So I never got into the drugs. So when that happened to my parents, instead of me, the attitude of resorted to drugs immediately, he became a basehead immediately in the 80s. That happening to your parents back to back like that, late 70s and then the 80s, the early 80s. I ain't talking about the late 80s, early 80s, the late 70s, 79, 80, boom, 81. And then, no, man, you'd have been on somebody's drug. You'd have been on angel dust, Sherman, heroin, or cocaine, man. That would have been your hardcore drug of choice, or pills. And the crazy part about pills today is our aunties and uncles and shit like that from the 50s and the 60s who was born and raised, who grew up in Watts and grew up in these different areas. They popped certain pills back then. Wow. Downers and uppers. And uppers. But again, drugs was not the empowerment of these communities, bro. Because a lot of people were clear-headed. They know, we ain't fuck with that shit. I ain't taking no drugs. My mama strung out on that shit. No, I don't want it. So a lot of people chose not to do it. As opposed to it's empowerated. It's like, it's cool. They made this shit cool. They made hard drugs cool, man. No, you ain't cool if you don't do drugs. That's crazy. That's ass backwards. So
yeah, that don't make sense.
So the elements was just totally different, Chief. Different growing up, man. You know?
Man, no, it definitely is. Man, man, about speaking about the you were speaking a little bit about just the industry, man. Do you remember when you came out? Because I know this generation, when they tell me stories, and I know where they got it from, I'm like, okay, oh man, Suge Knight was the most feared man in on the West Coast, and it bothers me because I'm like, okay, it was real street folks that wasn't scared of Suge, and I'm not saying that to be. It's like make believe. It's like fantasy. Like you knew the guy, you met the guy, you knew you had dealings with him, and do you remember the first time you met him? And if so, how did it go? Because I like how you present it. You always say you give him his flowers too, but you tell the truth.
I mean, the truth of the matter, like I said this over and over on different platforms, different interviews, and anytime if the question is asked, it'll be the same thing. We met on a negative level, bro. I didn't like Simon at all.
Yeah.
Didn't know him personally, but knew of him as a bodyguard. A cat who went to LUNV, was a bouncer, a football player who became a bouncer, lived in the mob, really lived in the, grew up in the mob. I knew all that because I was a real street nigga. So I knew of him as Miriam, but his name didn't surface in the streets amongst us and amongst the Pirus I knew in Compton and the gangsters I knew in Compton, because he wasn't no gangster in the streets with us. He didn't come up in that era, period. He had a family that loved him and protected him. And if my family was still alive, I wouldn't have probably became the bounty. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Ain't no properly. I wouldn't have became the bounty hunter that I became because I had another different choice and other routes I could have taken, because I had a father and a mother that was behind me and would have spent any and every dime possible to make sure me and my siblings had what we need to make it and get ahead in life, bro. So I know my choice would have been this shit. I was primarily not forced in it, but I made the choice because I rebelled against God. I stopped believing. I grew up in churches, man. This was been around all our life. Stop fronting. Niggas, stop fronting. Gangsters, gang members, we all grew up in this shit once upon a time.
Come on, man.
Real fathers, real parents that loved us. A lot of us, we weren't supposed to take these routes. This wasn't what our parents wanted. This shit was rebellious by choices. So like I just explained, my rebellious choice came by I stopped believing in God. And I cursed God, and I told that nigga with the red suit, hey, give me that suit. And I put the suit on, head to toe, and I went to work for 30 years. Red eyes and all. Steam coming out my head. You can see the fucking horns on my head. That's how demonic I was once upon a time. And I came out of that shit, bro, by the grace of God. I went on, crossed back over, went home, man. Got my wings, bro. That's why I'm here today. This is why I speak. This is why I teach it. This is why I preach it, bro. I don't get on here to glorify this shit.
Man. Never seen you do this, man.
I don't go here to tell people how many bodies I got in my life and what I've done. You can't go find an interview where I've never went into details about nothing.
I've never seen you do that. There's always like some remorse, and also you also educating the youth like, it's not cool. You're not even saying it's a good thing to do. It's always there's another way. There's a better way, and that's one thing I had a lot of respect for you about. I was like, man, you don't want to see him the same cycle to keep continuing. You're trying to, it's time to change some stuff, man. And that's amazing.
When you a devoted father, Chief, let's say I hung up my flag, man, to become fatherhood gang instead of bounty hunter gang. I hung up my flag to become fatherhood gang. I had already messed up because my firstborn son, little Bj Japan, man, was everything I wanted, man. I got my son, I got my joint. Like, damn, I got it. But my head ain't right because I'm deep in the street still. I'm a my G shit for me. And I'm a major D boy. So he got everything he want financially. Him and his mama got everything. He ain't want for nothing. But he don't got me. He don't got me in the structure that my twins had me. So it was a difference. So that's something I had to carry and flash back after the year, because my son is grown now, graduated top of his class, master's degree, a boss. My baby grown, and I'm so proud of him. But the fact of the matter was, it's a difference between being a full-time father, man, than a baby daddy and a sperm donor. You youngsters out there, nigga can stick his wee-wee in anything and make a baby. And accidentally drop some sperm drops and your shit getting trapped in, and boom, now she's pregnant. That can happen. But can you go all the way and raise that baby, raise that seed, rain, sun, sleep? Oh, you can't wear no Jordans, none of that. Your $500 got to go all on your kids. You make $10 off the deal. Can you do that? That's real man shit. That's real grown man shit. That's real growth. That's what takes you to the elements of men, man. You know what I'm saying? And these are the type of things we got to get back to as far as our culture, to result to things to where allow us to win as a culture. Because right now, bro, we do, man, no matter how you look at it, all these fake ass churches, bro, this fake gossiping, fake preachers, man. Shout out, man, to my leader. Shout out to the individual that I chose. I chose because he told me so, because the spirit in me and God told me this the one. Shout out to Pastor Gino Jennings, man. Straight up, man. He's a controversial pastor because, like anything else, anything that preaches the truth, oh, you crazy. You're a problem. Am I right? I say.
I got a chance to check him on that. He definitely go against the grain. I mean, he's not.
If you think about it, T, it was told to us by our grandparents, our grandfathers, our aunties back in them days. Man, if you don't do nothing else out there, TV land, you don't got to be the smartest. But if you want to really, really know what's going on in our globe today and why shit is abnormal and not normal anymore, because we grew up in a normal world. Like a lot of things was normal. It wasn't abnormal. Like you didn't see a zebra crossbreed having sex with a lion. See, that's abnormal. We didn't grow up in them kind of worlds, but that's the world we live in today. And it's all written, bro. It's all foretold already. It's in the Black Book. It's in Revelations, man. We living in Revelations, homie. This is why my understanding is so broad and this third eye is so open. Because if you don't read nothing else in the Black Book, just go to Revelation. And the reason why I say that, my mother, rest her soul, my queen, my beautiful, beautiful, sexy mama, man. I can still hear that and still. I remember time, bro, when I knew every damn near continent of the book, the tables of continent, because my mom was a Jehovah's Witness. She made us learn all that. Oh my God, bro. We had to know. Me, my sisters, but all that, bro. So it's like, but if nothing else, I resorted back to, I could hear my mama, Revelations. I could hear my granny, Revelations. Both my grandmothers, Miss Gooden and Mrs. Robinson. I could hear them talking to me, Revelations. Aunties, uncles, result to Revelations, bro. So these things is what helped me in my growth and my strength ability as far as today that brought me to where I'm at today, man. As far as being this changed individual, being humble, really trying to maintain myself and my stability as far as on the levels that I'm on, because bro, I come a long ways, man. I grew up, I was born, raised a temperamental individual. Going back to real quick to when you asked the question about the guns and when I was first introduced, and I told you, like I said, for me, it all started early. I was introduced to my first guns and everything because my father, my uncles, my granddaddy, we had an old 22 rifle in our family. It was like I'm over 57 years old from generation to generation passed down in our family that each kid and each youngin, we used to go hunting and you had to be able to shoot out a squirrel's nest with this gun.
Yeah.
So I was able to pass the tradition down to my baby, little Nino, at 10 years old. I got photos, videos, I got pictures of us with the rifle. I got my baby hunted down, geared down, man. Me, him, and my Uncle Don, Uncle DJ in Kansas City. We had went hunting just a few years ago, about 5-6 years ago. And I got my baby, you know what I mean, captured with that family tradition, man. That meant a lot to me. And see, I missed that with my first son. So these are the things I'm gonna say. Oh, it's important, bro, as a father or a parent. So just imagine all the fathers in prison who really want to be here for their sons and their daughters and their kids, bro, and protect them. Because I know a lot of real cats, bro, behind the walls that would have been great fathers, bro, because they was fathers before the structure came in and Derrick Hoover and they plan and the system came in and they took everybody and they put us in the behind the walls and bedders and captivated us into slavery. There's a lot of great fathers in them behind the walls, bro. And a lot of these kids took the directions they took. So people need to understand the reason being of the things that's going on around us, bro. This shit's all structured. It's a plan. And it was already foretold. It was written, man. It's in the black book.
Man. Nino, you was man. Can you talk a little bit about just man your where did your film background come in at, man? Just man, you're definitely a man that's well versed, man. Man, you're in the film industry, man. You're CEO of your own company, actor, author. Can you share about those things as well, man? Just how'd you get involved in those things, and where can people go see those? What movies have you been a part of or affiliated with?
Well, right now I'm signed on to 2 major Hollywood films that I haven't I can't really express and speak on. Or give up certain executive names, but I'm signed on already. That's for them show. Meaning I'm in contract binding, about to receive my big check advancements. I already received my scripts and my breakdown productions. So we're going into action 2023 on those. So I'm signed on to 2 big films that I'm excited on. I'm looking forward to doing it. And I have a couple of independent films that I'm looking forward to sign on right now that I'm negotiating after we come out of hiatus of the holidays of the last of the year, going into the first of the year, once everything opens back up. I have a few independent companies that's looking at me right now for some films. And it's crazy you asked that question because a lot of people, a lot of cats on this internet, they see me, man. And I just laugh, bro, at these comments and shit, man, because I be knowing it's a lot of young dudes as well as even older, stupid old niggas, 40s and 50s, dumb, that say some dumb shit and have a conversation, right? But because if you don't come on this internet and you don't look a certain way, you broke. You don't got no money. You have no achievement. You ain't got no success, no nothing. And I just laugh because that just go to show you that this internet, these niggas don't know. These cats don't know, have a slight clue of where I come from and what I've done already, the achievement. I didn't just start this. I got on the internet 3 years ago. I didn't just start this life of the game. I've been in this industry 20 years. Feel me? I've been around some of the best of the best. I had to protect major names. When I say protect, I mean literally protect these niggas. They name, they legacies, they brands. I had to protect these niggas. They secrets. And I still carry these secrets right now today. I could be all over this internet on certain niggas, airing them out right now. Real rappers, niggas with names. I can air these Negroes out. All the way down to their relations. But that ain't me. I'm not no messy nigga. I ain't no nigga. I don't get on this internet to be like the other dudes and build my platforms on them levels. No, I came on here to build a platform based on sharing my livelihood, because this is what separates me and why I don't call them stories. They're my livelihoods. Share my true factor livelihoods of things that I went through, things that I experienced in my life that I wouldn't want to see others go through or other youngers go down that path, because y'all got so many other opportunities to do so many other shit that we didn't have. Point blank. So I come on and try to share that and get that enlightenment because it's in my spirit. I don't have to do that, man. But I was guided to do that. So I do it, man, for real, for real. It's really in my heart. It's like when I go out and feed, you know, niggas want to come on and say, oh, why you filming it? Or why you got your camera out if you doing it from your heart? Hey, fool, if I would have take and monitor and show my people and show the other people that, hey, man, we all can do this. Just imagine if 100 of us was doing this every day, what we can do to feed other people who don't have, who are homeless. So if that's my influence, I'm entitled to do that too, jackass. Everything got to be negative to people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't let it get to me. I don't let it bother me. I keep doing what I do because it's genuine. It's from my heart. It's like for 2 years, me and my girl, when it was on lockdown, me and my queen, from both our nonprofit organizations, man, Where We Flourish and Truth Foundation, we fed thousands I'm talking about over 10,000 people within the 2-year span of the lockdown when we was on coronavirus lockdown. Nigga, I fed this city, Compton, Long Beach, far as the valley. I'm talking about as far as the valley, San Fernando Valley, Pacoima, San Gabriel. I was all over the place, bro, all the way to my hood, to my neighborhood. Fed 2,000 in my hood, man. So I don't give a shit about what niggas say, what they talk about. It's not about me being on here, never being in competition to prove nothing to you niggas or who doing what. Oh, hey, I feed the community, I feed this. Nigga, I'm trying to really, the hell with just feeding the community, nigga. How about building the community?
Yeah.
How about that? How about being able to take the transition to teach our youngest to come together to build other communities and take them out of this shit. Take them out of this equation. Like, take JT Bigger Figure, shout out to my homie, man, all the way down to Africa. Like, take JT Bigger Figure for an example. Great example, bro.
JT, man, shout out to JT.
Around here build communities, nigga. So if y'all don't take that as examples and look at certain shit and stop looking at all this old stuff that we ain't supposed to be even paying attention to. The hell them have them hoes on here with their ass and their titties out and their fake asses and fake. Man, don't even get me started, man. I'm serious, bro. We gotta get focused, man. So this is why
it's amazing.
Homie, I'm gonna break them lanes. I'm gonna break them doors down. Well, I'm gonna end up being the one. I'm gonna be speaking to these young homies and the youth. I'm gonna be speaking to all the young niggas across the world, across the globe, man. Because I am the truth. Ain't nothing fake about this shit with me, man. I'm the truth. And these young cats need to learn to hear. Not just them, the young girls too. The young teens, our young daughters. Nigga, if you're a father, you got a daughter, it's your duty to protect your daughter, nigga. Not be a friend, not be a partner. Be a king. Be a real strong leader to her. Feel me? Lead by structure. Lead by example. It's your duty, whether she like it or not. And nigga, don't be scared of your boys, nigga. Start parenting, you know? Go back to parenting. Be a real parent. It's just, man.
Hey, Nino, where can let them know where they can find you at? What you got going on coming up? Just let them know anything where people can reach.
Oh, right now, man, I'm excited, man, because I really stepped back from the music world, man. You know, taking me back to the 90s and 97, I just beat a life case. I beat a 40-year life case, man. I gave 40 years back to the system twice. I gave life back to the system twice. And again, fellas, I don't say that to be bragging about. I say that to be definitely blessed, man, that God allowed me. I gave 82 years back to this funky system because these homies was trying to get me, man. They've been trying to get me. And if I allow them right now today and slip, they'll get me and take me down. No matter all the accomplishments I have made over the last 2 decades of my life and the changes and transitions, it don't matter. They'll take my ass down, man, if I give them the opportunity. And I mean, take me down, man. So, it's a blessing, bro. So, I gave 40 years back, beat my case, got acquittal, got out in 97, established my independent record label, Paper Chase Entertainment, PCE, and that's how I stepped in the game, man. And from there, you know, with my death row experience situation that occurred, and I just arose from there, man, and just started growing, man. And then moving on down to build 2 Trill West Records, 2 Trill West, with the partnership of Bun B of 2 Trill Entertainment. So we partners for 13 years in Bros. And man, it was just, you know, for me, it's been an experience. It's been a long time experience, man. And I got a lot going on. So I just want to say, man, shout out. I just signed on these new cats, man, these new kids, man, because I really wasn't going to get back to this music world, man, because the way it is all fucked up. Structure, artists are messed up, they're not loyal, you know, so it was like I had my reasons. And I own all my stuff. I own all my masters. I own everything I have. I own it. Everything that I've developed over the decades, I own it. I own everything. If I can go get publishing deals, do anything I want, I own it. So that's what I do. I survive. I eat off my royalties. I eat off deals. I put new deals in effect for soundtrack replacements. I'm called all the time. I'm getting emails from different companies for a soundtrack replacement or for a score, a music score for a movie. So these are things I've been surviving on for the last 4 years since I put out my last independent album. I released an independent album 4 years ago called SRM Streets of Mine, which is still on Apple, iTunes, all major platforms. It was linked to my movie King of Watts, which you can go check it out right there, Rules of Engagement, on Cappuccino Films Inc. YouTube page. Go over there, keep them numbers up, man. I'm up to like 20, 30,000 right now, but I'm going to take it down because I got a couple of calls from some networks. So I'm going to transition and put it on the network channels. And then I'm also, 2023, I've already bought in and I'm building my own channel and my own brand. It's for my channel, for my brands itself. So I'm building my own TV network channel. Oh, we got to learn. Man, that's cool. We got to learn shit. We got to think big, man. Stop thinking small, nigga. Stop thinking of a small order of fries and get you an extra or an extra large fry, man. Stop thinking of them small orders, man, on the value menu, nigga. All this shit, man. Yeah. Listen, man. I am your man, Nino Cappuccino, man. It's been a pleasure, Chief, man. You was gonna say something though?
Yeah, I was gonna let them know. Once you finish, let them know you just got mixed.
Gotcha. So yeah, man. You've been listening to a great show, man. Great segment. Like I say, this brother's doing a lot of things down there in Houston, Texas, with the kids and the youth. So this is what drew me and drew my admiration to come on and do the show with him, man. When he reached out to me and contacted me, because you know, my phone stayed blowing up, man. People, you know, are getting at me from different angles, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunities that's coming my way, man. And y'all just stay tuned. Look forward to me, man. My real concentration. I came in this game, man, solely for this big screen, man. I'm going back to this big screen and do my thing, man. So y'all look out, man, because I'm gonna be hitting that big screen heavy, man. And
yes, sir.
And man, shout out to my new sign artists, man. Shout out to Tonio Day. Shout out to H. Wood Rio. Shout out to King Woody. King Hoodie. Shout out to Young King Hoodie. Feel me? I'm looking at another young cat right now, man. Shout out to my nephew, man. Young Davante Riley, man, up out of ATL. You know what I mean? And then I'm looking at a new cat right now, man. You know what I mean? Mr. Cool himself up out of Ohio, man. But yeah, man, I got some real good things in store come 2023, man. And for as me, man, y'all know, man, go on and run on over there, man. Tap in, subscribe, tune in, share, like at Rules of Engagement YouTube page, man. That's Rules of Engagement, man. Y'all going over there with Rules of Engagement, man. Bounty Hunter Bj the brand, man. Rules of Engagement, Bounty Hunter Bj the brand, man. Hey, listen, man. Y'all already know my motto, man. Watts. We are taught to survive, and you just been hit by the mix, man. I mean, the mix, man. The mix, man. ATX, man. See?
Yes, indeed.
Power,
yes,
brother.
indeed.
Power, man. Salute.
Man. Yes, indeed. Enjoyed you, man. Thank you for being on the show. And you just got mixed.
Just got mixed, sir. Y'all just got mixed.
You've been listening to The Mix Report, keeping you in the mix with sports and entertainment. We hope you enjoyed listening to the show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hook up with us on Twitter at GotMix, on Instagram at GotMix_net, and on Facebook at GotMix News. Till next time, this is The Mix Report, signing off.